YouTubers, God's really kind of breaking my heart today because I'm realizing that that things aren't going to last much longer the way they are. I'm starting to realize that there's many of you that are on the fence. I know a lot of my subscribers are dedicated Christians, but this video is for those that need a good shake-up, wake-up. You're playing games with God, and it's dangerous. You're sitting on that fence, and you say, "Yeah, I believe in Jesus, and believing is what's going to get me into heaven. I'm a good person." But in reality, you're not keeping His commandments. The Bible says that those who love me keep my commandments. If you're not obeying God, then you're not within His will, and you're really playing with fire. Let me read you something here. Matthew 24:45. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his master made ruler over his household to give them food in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his master, when he comes, will find so doing. Assuredly, I say to you that he will make him ruler over all his goods. But if that evil servant says in his heart, "My master is delaying his coming," and begins to beat his fellow servants and eat and drink with the drunkards, the master of that servant will come on a day when he is not looking for him, and at an hour that he is not aware of, and will cut him in two and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now I want to ask you, why do you think those people are weeping and gnashing of teeth? I want you to get a visual of that and think about that for a minute. Matthew 7:22 says, "Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in Thy name, and in Thy name cast out devils, and in Thy name done many wonderful works?" Even if you're doing these things, those sound like wonderful things. Those sounds like you're doing work for the kingdom of heaven. But if you don't personally know Jesus, if you don't have a relationship with Him, then I'll tell you why they're weeping and gnashing of teeth. Because the next verse says, "And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you, depart from me, ye that work iniquity." Iniquity is sin. The Bible talks a lot against sin. Just picture that for a minute, weeping and gnashing of teeth. Imagine you get up there on the day that you die, and you think you're going to go through those pearly gates, and you've been sitting on the fence and your relationship wasn't right. Weeping and gnashing of teeth. There's a lot of verses that tell you the kind of things that show you're not in right standing with God. Colossians chapter 3 talks about putting off the old man. Verse 8, "But now you must also put off all these things, anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy language out of your mouth." If you're doing things like cussing or drinking, the Bible says somewhere, I'll look up the verse, drunkards will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. Adulterers will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. Fornicators. If you're sleeping with your girlfriend and you're not married, that's fornication. If you're sitting around watching Family Guy, it doesn't sound like it's a big deal, but I've seen them mock Jesus, mock God. If Jesus was sitting right next to you on your couch, would you watch that? Because He's sitting there. You don't see Him, but He's sitting there. I used to spend a lot of time in the bar, and I thought I was a Christian. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine. God forgives everything. God, He's a loving God. He knows that I believe in Him. He'll forgive me." I was living in drunkenness, adultery, I was a liar. I could go. The list could go on forever.